the Borg. And as we've developed a system whereby we have effectively developed a business model of all the processes that different people do, we also link those processes to the software. So effectively, the people using the software don't have to learn how to use the software. They just go through the normal processes they do. So on a ship, they would be navigating, they would be taking bunkers, they would be doing maintenance. And that's how we think that easy-to-use software is. So over to Lene.
Yes. So VesselMan is a project and process management platform for technical projects such as dry dockings and refit projects, everything that really has a work scope. So dry docking often represents 60 to 70% of the maintenance cost for a vessel. And a dry docking happens every 2.5 or every 5th year and has an average cost between $1 and $2 million US. Today, this is usually planned and conducted in Excel spreadsheets. And that's what we're really trying to do something about, with standardized processes being rolled out on a fleet. The main ambition is to use the good manual processes there is today and convert them into a digital environment. It's not about innovating everything new and how they are supposed to do their work, but really using what we have and convert it into a digital environment. There's also big potential for using standardized processes into different industries. It's a lot of, for example, the wind farms and offshore platforms. They also have a technical work scope, which the system can also work with. And this is the basis for why we have a collaborative project, which we completed last year, which was called Connected Plan Maintenance System. The project started in 2020, yep, and we finalized it in 2021. And I'm going to talk a little bit about how and why we have done this. This restaurant is supposed to be the best burger restaurant in the world. It's located in Portugal. It's called Otalo. If they would have, anyone been there? Yeah, perfect. If they would have served gyros or Thai red curry, they wouldn't have been the best burger restaurant in the world because they wouldn't be experts on burgers and they wouldn't have that focus. And that's what we see as well. Pantelis and his team, they're experts on plant maintenance systems. VesselMan is experts on technical projects and project management. So this is a good parallel to how we work and why the integration project has been a massive part of the future, and also what we see in other industries. Integration is key because there are so many good providers out there that delivers perfect solutions, and it shouldn't be an environment where you just go into a new area and start from scratch, because it will cost you so much instead of actually integrating. We talk about best-of-breed software, and I think best-of-breed software really represents what we have done with bringing the best team players together. And we have some lessons learned. Okay, so far I think the most important thing was the help from the staff of Innovation Norway. So I can see Harry's there. Thank you very much. First time I meet him face to face, and I nearly exploded a few minutes ago. So this is good. So a very big thank you, because we haven't been involved in many projects. So somebody had to hold our hands and take us through this project and help us with a lot of questions, always available. I remember once on a holiday I called him 8 o'clock, was it? After Friday night or something. So he picked it up. So I wish our support team would do the same, but there you go. So they actually do, but I'm only joking. So there was a lot of cooperation between a lot of professional staff. So we're talking about not just the Innovation Norway team, but also the team in Norway, Lene and her colleagues, and Stig. I can see Stig there.
And also from our staff, we worked very well together because our main goal with this project was actually to produce a product that people would use. We always wanted to do this. Building software is very expensive, and trying to build a proper integration means that you have to map each other's processes to do it. So usually what happens is when you come into a project, to reduce the cost of the project, you make what I would call a Mickey Mouse integration. So you just exchange files, and it's very difficult to maintain and very difficult to keep up to date when one software changes and the other changes. So what we did this properly, and the funding that we got from Innovation Norway was very useful. And now this integration we have done, because it's built on a full process mapping, VesselMan can also use with other plant maintenance systems, and we can use with other project systems. So this integration is something which is alive, it's a product, and it can, we can move forward very well.
It has for sure also increased our customer loyalty from both sides, because we have collaborative clients already using this, and also gained a lot of new opportunities, both for us as a project management tool on top of Task Assistant, but also to bring in a good relationship with Ulysses regarding new potential clients for them. I think it's also interesting to have Corvus here today, because we have recently signed up with them as well for a research project regarding data-driven maintenance. So this has really explored a lot of new opportunities for both of us, and I know that Pantelis is also looking for additional partners.
Yeah. So over to the next one. As my grandmother used to say to me when I didn't have my dinner, eating makes you hungrier. So we got tρώγοντας έρχεται η όρεξη in Greek. So we've got, we thought about what we've done. So we've mapped all of the processes with respect to the plant maintenance. So you repair something using the dry docking module, the plant maintenance system knows it. You do something in the plant maintenance system, the dry docking module is ready to make it available for the dry docking. But that does not look at the people. So all the software in the future will be about the people. The most important resource in every organization are the people. So in shipping, just like any other industry, there's a massive shortage of skills and experience. And because we have accidents in shipping that can cost 40 billion euro in terms of pollution, especially with oil majors, they have very strict rules on how to make the crew matrix and a lot of experience. But those rules are not always clever. So for instance, a ship could sail from the Persian Gulf to the States, and it could take 6 to 8 weeks. And you only do 2 operations there. So once you load and once you discharge. Whereas a ship in the North Sea could be loading and discharging 3 times a day. So you understand, somebody that does the operations of loading and discharging, and we're talking about massive pumps that work very fast, has if the person in the North Sea will build up experience a lot quicker than somebody that drives. A good example I use is my mom has had her driving license from 1977. She's only driven 80 miles and had 3 accidents. So, but as far as the insurance company is concerned, she's more experienced and less of a risk than I am. Okay, so exactly the same thing. So what we're doing is we looked at the jobs that different people do, and we try to, as a byproduct of reporting, we did this job, the system knows who's the crew member, and then automatically flags up that crew member as knowing how to overhaul that specific engine. And this engine to be overhauled requires that you understand how to move a chain block, how to work with hot equipment, how to work with specific tools that allow you to take very large pieces apart. So as a byproduct of reporting the maintenance, we are now looking at a very intelligent way to produce experience, and this experience can also be used then by the crewing department to be able to forecast maintenance and see what kind of resources they need. So in the past, a lot of the ships have been sandbagging, and that means that you have more crew on board. not necessarily specifically experienced at the overhauls that are coming, just in case. But now what we can do is we can make a plan, we can see what maintenance is coming in the future, and we can have exactly the correct crew for the correct time. Okay.
And if we think about all the data that we managed to collaborative gather, there are so much opportunities when it comes to additional projects regarding this.
And of course, IoT has changed everything. It's changing everything in shipping. Lots of little vendors are popping up with magnificent solutions, safety-related, performance-related, RFIDs, QR codes. So we have built up a tool that allows us to do all these integrations as a result of this process. And this tool will allow you to maintain the software when the different vendors upgrade theirs, simply because we map the processes that the people do. So the processes that people do stay the same. The software changes, you change SQL servers, you change the hardware, but what the people did is the same. So if you can map all your tools against the processes, then you're covered. Okay, so we had, what is the green impact in this? Actually, having better maintained ships, you can reduce massively the consumption of fuel. Having a bigger availability of ships, you can carry more cargo for the same fuel. And, you know, the typical thing, like a well-maintained car is more fuel efficient than a car that is not well-maintained. And if you go to outside the taxis, you will see the ones when they drive out, big black smoke comes out. You can tell that's not as efficient as the taxi where the big smoke doesn't come out. Okay, and what about the crew management system? I have to apologize. We design our presentations on a Macintosh. And sometimes the fonts play around if they are not available. So the actual presentation, we made sure that it wasn't like that, but here it is. So, okay. And so what about the crew members? If you can actually plan better, then you are solving a problem with the crew shortage. So we're not creating a humanitarian problem whereby we have less people on board, so people will lose their jobs. We already have a massive shortage. So what we're doing is we are allocating the people better if we plan better. Okay.
And I would say that we are covering at least 4 of the sustainable goals with knowledge sharing, digitization, partnerships, and reduced emission. Yes. So that must be something. All right. Thank you. And thank you.